We want to welcome you all tonight to learn more about Albemarle County Public Schools Scholars Studios. If you are interested in using the interpretation, if you go to the bottom of your screen, you should be able to hit the interpretation button or a globe. Or Monica, do you want to translate that?
They can't hear her translation until they click on the globe.
Okay, so if you click on the globe at the bottom, you should be able to get to the translator. Here are our presenters for tonight. My name is Katina Dudley. I am the curriculum coordinator for science. Can you guys see my screen? For some reason, I can't even see anybody.
Yes, it's
Yes.
because you're on Optimize.
Aha, thank you. I'm going to turn that off for a minute. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. We also have with us tonight Megan Maynard. Megan is the curriculum coordinator for career and technical education. Also in the room tonight is Dama Schneider. Dama is the curriculum coordinator for fine arts. We have Cabell Guy. Cabell is the coordinator for school counseling. And we have Aaron Percival, who is an instructional support specialist for career and technical ed. Also want to take a minute to let our studio leads that are present with us tonight to give them an opportunity to unmute themselves and introduce themselves as well. So we can go from Blueprint, head to the right, and then end at Vivid.
Hello, I'm Melissa Thaxton. I'm the studio lead for Blueprint. That's architecture, urban design and planning, and construction management.
Hi, everybody. I'm Abby Smith. I'm the studio lead for Encore, which is for the performing arts.
Hi, everybody. I'm Brooke Hartzell, the studio lead for Impact Studio. We are specializing in global leadership, law, and social justice.
Hello, everyone. I'm Ian Barry. I'm a co-lead with Jake Sills for Link Studio. We offer cybersecurity, video and media technology, and video game design.
Good evening, I'm Chris Bunin, and I'm helping lead the Nexus Studio that focuses on geospatial technologies, logistics, computer science, and emerging technologies.
Good evening. I'm Jeremy Dove. I am the lead for Pulse Studio at Monticello, and Pulse Studio is our health and medical sciences studio.
My name is Malik Poindexter. I am the Savor Studio lead, which is hospitality and tourism.
Hello, I'm Trey Barlow. I'm the Solve Studio lead, and that is our STEM pathways.
Hi, I'm Dawn Tinder. I am the studio lead for Terra Studio, which is environmental studies.
And Caroline Cheng's not able to be with us tonight. She is our fantastic studio lead for Thrive Studio, which is education and human development, but our team will be here to answer any questions on that studio as well.
Tim Hamlet is our studio lead for Venture Studio, and I know he was traveling tonight and was going to try to sign on if he could, so he may or may not be able to join us during his travels.
And I'm Dustin Harris. I'm the Vivid Studio lead, which is visual arts.
And our Venture Studio is for entrepreneurship and business and drawing a blank. Megan, would you add anything to that? But it's our entrepreneurship studio. Okay, we're going to start tonight by showing you guys a quick snippet of our Scholars Studios. And with this, you'll be able to see some of our learning spaces and hear from some of our current students.
I love attending a Scholar Studio because I get to design my future. I feel like I'm learning skills that I can use in the real world after I graduate.
I like venture studios because you can use it to focus on things that you want to do with your career in the future.
Through my studio, I get to learn what industry professionals do, ask questions, and get guidance.
The two pathways that I do at Center One are game design and then media and communication. In game design, we create games from scratch. And then the other one I do is media and communications, filmmaking, digital music production, digital art, video editing. Just it covers a really broad range of topics.
I love Terra Studio because a lot of my classes are a lot of hands-on projects. Like we spend a lot of time out here in the greenhouse, and it is a really nice break from, you know, sitting in lectures all day.
I love the cybersecurity pathway because it's given me a lot of opportunities that I wouldn't have had otherwise. We get a lot of hands-on experience. We do a lot of labs. We get real-world experience and preparation for actual jobs and, you know, pursuing a degree, for example, in cybersecurity.
After school, I plan on being a teacher, so I joined the Thrive Scholar Studio because that helps me to gain real-world experiences for becoming a teacher. It really helps me to get a head start on when I'm going to go and continue my education in college or whatever I plan to do after that.
I definitely recommend joining one of the Scholar Studios. I think it's an enriching experience. The environment here is so welcoming, and the teachers are so helpful. It's much easier to get help from teachers, and it's easier to make friends. And it has just an amazing sense of community here, and that's why I recommend it.
I would definitely recommend joining a Scholar Studio. There's one out there for everybody.
Would you like to spend more time in high school pursuing your interests with a group of like-minded peers? Choose one of the 12 Scholar Studios aligned with your interests and future goals. If you would like to learn more about the Scholar Studios and find one that's right for you, please visit k12albemarle.org/all-studios or talk to your school counselor to design your future.
Okay, so that gives you a little, little bit of a taste of what the Scholar Studios is. So we just wanted to share a little bit more in depth tonight. After we give you a brief overview, we will actually open up breakout rooms so that you can go into rooms and talk with studio leads and ask questions that pertain to the studios that you're interested in. So we'll let you guys choose those a little bit later. As we introduce Scholar Studios, we just wanted to share with you that we've been meeting with students and families across the school division to learn more about what students would really like to learn and kind of what they would like to experience during their high school career. What we found is that many of our high school students want school to feel more engaging and relevant to their interest and future. The Scholar Studio gives students the chance to dive deep into a topic that matches their interest, along with the flexibility to make it their own. The Scholar Studio program gives students more voice in their learning by allowing them to explore topics that they care about, study with peers who share similar interests, learn from educators who also share similar interests, and they shape their experience in a way that is meaningful to the students. The hands-on learning experiences are designed to help students with real-world skills that will prepare them for both college and career. The Scholar Studios are designed for high school students. As students enter into high school, they're eligible to sign up and enroll in the courses and the programs. Again, there are 12 distinct studios. We also have opportunities for students to sign up as a 10th grader. So students that are in 8th and 9th grade this year will be able to sign up for studios if they're interested. And again, each studio is focused on an interest area with the flexibility to modify their experience through specific pathways. I'm going to turn it over to Megan Maynard, and she's going to share a little bit about frequently asked questions that we are approached with each year.
Thanks, Katina. So a few of the frequently asked questions we'll share tonight, and you're also able to use the Q&A feature in your Zoom. If you want to ask specific questions, we can try to answer those as well. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So one of the first things that we're asked is, what does a typical day look like in the Scholar Studios? So in the high schools, in Albemarle County Schools, all of our high schools work on an A-B rotating schedule. Here you can see a sample of what it might look like if a student-based school was Albemarle, and they chose a Scholar Studio of Solve, which will be in our new building, Ace Academy, Lambs Lane. So looking at this sample schedule, you can see on one day, the A day, students would have health and PE, their world language, their math, and an elective. And on their B day, they would take their Scholars Gateway, which is the first course in their Scholar Studio, Scholars Physics, and their English and Social Studies classes. And throughout all of our Scholar Studios, students will be taking a full day as part of that Scholar Studio experience, and they're in different locations throughout our county. One of the things that we've really heard in feedback from our students and families with regards to the Scholar Studios, but also with regards to programs that have been in our community for a long time, such as our band community and our drama community, our sports studios, or our sports communities, students really look to have that sense of belonging as a part of their high school. And the Scholar Studios allow students to retain two really important communities. One, their base school. So students in the Scholar Studios will still attend the base school in the feeder pattern that they belong to, which means all of their friends from their neighborhood and from classes over the years together, they'll still continue to have that experience as a part of their base school. But they also get the opportunity to join in a community connected to their current interests and future goals with the Scholar Studios. Research tells us that students really thrive in these small learning communities that are connected to their interests and goals. A few of the things that we've heard from students over time, and so these are some quotes from some of our student ambassadors. The first one talks about our teachers. Our teachers are very involved, knowledgeable, and passionate, which creates an enjoyable environment. Most of my classmates are engaged and excited to learn and know more and also share a passion about the subject. Everyone you're surrounded by is passionate about similar things as you. We have similar goals for the future. So we talked a little bit about what that A-day, B-day schedule looks like. We're going to dive in a little bit more onto the actual classes that a student would take in the Scholar Studios. And tonight we're going to be sharing some samples. We have lots of samples available online on the website. And we'll add the link to the website in the chat. It's easy to remember. It's k12albemarle.org/studios. But these samples are just that. They're samples. And so every student has a really unique course plan that they'll work through with their counselor and with their family. And so if you have questions about exactly how these courses might fit with your student, those are great questions for you to work through with a school counselor. But we're going to kind of go over the overview of types of courses. So in the studios, students will take a gateway course. That's the first course they'll take in their 9th or 10th grade year. And this is really a foundational course that helps them learn about all the different industry and career pathways in that field and really launch into that learning. After their gateway course in 9th or 10th grade, they'll move on to a pathway sequence. They'll take two courses in a sequential electives that are tied to their interests. And those pathway sequences meet our graduation requirements. So all students in Virginia are required to take two sequential electives, and the Scholar Studios have those graduation requirements kind of wrapped right into them. Additionally, students will take a Pathway Plus course, which is a course that is aligned to their studio. And we hear all the time from students and families over the past several years that we've been in education. They're looking for more opportunities to connect courses to their interests. And so we've done some work to align those and put those options in front of our students and families. Their senior year, students will take a capstone course where they can really apply their leadership skills, connect to community mentors, do work-based learning, and have authentic audiences to showcase or exhibit and receive feedback. Those are the elective courses. But what we've heard from students and families over time is they want more than just their electives to connect to their interests. They really want their academic experience as a whole to connect to their interests. And so in addition to the elective courses, students will also take academic core courses in English, social studies, and physics that will be cohorted with other Scholar Studio students as well. So you can see what a sample schedule looks like between 9th and 12th grade, the classes that you might have at your base school, and the classes that you might have in your studio school. Here's an example from Link Studio. Link is actually our most popular studio right now. It is located at Ace Academy Seminole Place, and it is for information and communication technologies. It includes several pathways like cybersecurity, game design, and video and media technology. And you can see for ninth graders who attend Link Studio, they would take English 9, they would take their social studies or history class, they would take Scholars Physics, and all of those would be cohorted with other students at Link Studio. And then they would be in a gateway class, Honors IT Fundamentals. After the ninth grade year, then students start thinking about their pathways. This is an example of taking the cybersecurity pathway. So in the cybersecurity pathway, you can see students in 10th grade would take cybersecurity 1 and computer science. In 11th grade, they'd take cybersecurity 2 and 3. Their senior year, they'd have their AP cybersecurity course as well as their capstone. In Link Studio, all of the students will take applied capstone in technology. So that gives you kind of an idea, a sample of what that would look like. We frequently are asked, are core courses different when taken at a studio? And our core course offerings in our studios and our base school are aligned across the division for rigor, for pacing, and for learning targets. There are several core courses, as we talked about, that are specifically aligned and cohorted in the Scholar Studio. So that's the key difference, is that your content will be connected to your interest. So for example, in the English and Social Studies courses at Link Studio that we just showed in that sample, because many of the students have an interest in information and communications technology, our teachers tie those interests into their English and government classes, as well as the ninth grade physics course. Students can choose to join Scholar Studios in 9th grade or 10th grade. The difference is in 10th grade that you would double up, and so you would take that gateway course and your first pathway sequence. Otherwise, you're right on track with the rest of your cohort and will be taking the same courses that the 9th graders take. We frequently are asked, what does taking college credits look like with the Scholar Studios? The majority of our students in Albemarle County Schools do take several college credit courses. Here's an example of a student taking up to 16 college credits, which is what we call the Early College Scholars Passport. And students can take up to 63 college credits in Albemarle County Schools as part of our Early College Scholars Program. And so there are lots of opportunities for students to take college credits while they're also doing a Scholar Studio. And additionally, our Scholar Studios all have college credit courses designed within them. So we have college credit courses in every studio that are aligned to that studio. And we often find that students are really excited and excel in the college credit courses that are aligned to their interests. Another one of our most exciting studios are in our arts. We have both visual and performing arts. And so you can see what it looks like to participate in a studio in our visual arts here, how your leveled art courses look across your 4 years.
Okay, I will start
Passing to Katina.
Sorry, Megan. We just wanted to give you a brief overview of kind of the transition that we will be making next year with the location of where our studios are located. So currently the Link Studio for Information Communication and Technologies is located at Ace Academy on Seminole Place, which is off of 29 North, right beside Costco. Pulse is located at both Monticello and Albemarle High School. That's the Health and Medical Sciences. And then you can see that Terra, or the Environmental Studies Studio, is located at Western Albemarle High School. We have several studios located at Albemarle High School. And then you can see that the visual arts and the performing arts, the Vivid and the Encore Studio, are located at all 3 high schools. What will change next year are the mini studios that are located at Albemarle High School and the Pulse Studio at Monticello and Albemarle. Those studios will move to ACE Academy at Lambs Lane. So you have probably noticed, if you've driven by Albemarle High School, a new building that's being constructed. That is set to open in the fall of 2026. And so the studios that you see here right beside that ACE Academy Lambs Lane will move to that new center. So we'll still have the visual and performing arts, Vivid and Encore Studio located at all 3 high schools. Terra will remain at Western Albemarle High School, and Link will remain at ACE Academy Seminole Place. Here's some of our pictures of ACE Academy at Seminole Place. This campus accommodates 120 students per day. Again, it's located off 29 North, right beside Costco. This campus provides learning opportunities for students interested in Link, which focuses on cybersecurity, game design, and digital media. And here you can see some of the students in some of the varying learning spaces at that location. The Lambs Lane campus is located right beside Albemarle High School, right off of Hydraulic Road. This campus will accommodate 400 students per day for a total of 800 students, and it will provide learning experiences for students in 8 of the studios. So Pulse, Solve, Venture, Thrive, Impact, Blueprint, Saber, and Nexus. We've also had some people that created, with the construction teams and architects, that created a short video. So we wanted to kind of give you an opportunity to see what this learning space off of Lambs Lane will look like.
Welcome to the Albemarle Career Exploration Academy, Lambs Lane campus, a place where innovation, collaboration, and hands-on learning come to life. Our new signage proudly displays our name, while the redesigned campus connects ACE Academy, Lambs Lane, and Albemarle High School through safe walkways and dual entrances.
As you step inside, the entryway leads directly to the open, collaborative commons. Here, students gathered to share ideas, showcase projects, and enjoy flexible seating for meals in the full-service cafeteria. From booths and high tables to comfortable lounge spaces, this central hub reflects the spirit of community that defines the ACE Academy Lambs Lane campus.
Student input helped shape every detail of this new space, including the outdoor courtyard. Accessible from the cafeteria commons and surrounding classrooms, these spaces provide fresh air, reflection, and a balanced environment for learning and well-being.
Instead of traditional classroom spaces, students learn in flexible studios designed to foster collaboration and creativity. These studios bring a modern approach to learning in social studies and English, paired with state-of-the-art science rooms that support hands-on exploration and discovery.
In the Culinary Arts Lab, students of all interests can explore the joy of cooking, whether they are dreaming of running a restaurant or simply want to build their skills for home. With professional-grade stainless steel work tables and display cases to showcase their creations, this lab bridges everyday cooking with restaurant-quality techniques.
In our engineering studios, students gain experience with industry-grade tools and technologies while strengthening essential skills like communication, problem-solving, and teamwork. The Fabrication Lab brings ideas to life with 3D printers, laser cutters, and CNC machines, all in a space designed to make high-tech learning visible and inspiring.
Across both floors, collaboration spaces give students room to brainstorm, design, and present. With whiteboard walls, flexible seating, and group rooms equipped with monitors, teamwork is always at the forefront.
The Idea Center fuels creativity and entrepreneurship, offering space to brainstorm, collaborate, and bring new ideas to life. Retail racks showcase student-run businesses. While open, flexible areas encourage peers to share inspiration, work together, and turn innovative concepts into reality.
Our Innovation Hub connects students with mentors, industry partners, and internships that guide their next steps. In the entrepreneurship and fabrication labs, students design, test, and showcase their ideas, gaining real-world experience that prepares them for future opportunities.
In health sciences, nurse aide, EMT, and sports medicine students train on the latest tools and equipment in health and medicine. While patient simulation rooms with high-fidelity mannequins create real-world scenarios supported by advanced video conferencing.
And on the rooftop terraces, students find fresh air, collaboration, and inspiration with a view. At ACE Academy, Lambs Lane, every space is designed to prepare students for futures filled with possibility, purpose, and success.
Albemarle Career Exploration Academy, Lambs Lane,
where students imagine, create, and thrive.
It is really excited for us that have been working on this project for many years to finally see this building come to life for our students. We do expect with the opening of ACE Academy at Lambs Lane that the transportation will be more accessible for students next year. Many of our students will actually be able to take the shuttle routes to get to the Academy spaces. These routes actually allow students to get on the bus from their home. They would go to their base school. At their base school, they will get onto another bus. That bus will take them to ACE Academy at Lambs Lane or ACE Academy at Seminole Place. We use the same type of routes for Community Lab and K-Tech as well. Essentially what happens at those learning sites is students have a later start and an early release in order to be able to get there a little later and then to get back to their schools for dismissal or for extracurriculars. Students participating in programs at the comprehensive high schools, so the Early College Scholars Program at Monticello High School and Terra Studio at Western Albemarle High School, will still utilize the satellite stops. These stops are provided to help students and families access another comprehensive high school every other day. Students must arrive at these stops before the start of the school day, and then they will be picked up much later after the school day. So again, the students that are impacted by the satellite stops are students that would be participating in Terra Studio from Albemarle or Monticello or in Early College Scholars, and those students attend Western or Albemarle. So this is kind of a tentative route for these. Our school times start at about 8:50. They would arrive at the program at the academies around 9:25. Their school days would end around 3:15. They would depart the academy locations at Seminole Place and Lambs Lane around 3:30 to return to their schools by 4. And then we put a sample of what those routes look like for K-Tech as well. And then this shows you how early the satellite stops are and where they're located, and then when those routes return in the evening for drop-off. And so students have to find a ride to these pickup locations and at the drop-off locations each day. So they'll be at those sites every other day.
Katina, on the previous slide, could you share what that looks like for students in athletics?
So we do have athletic coaches aware of this. So if a student is participating in an athletic event or any sort of extracurricular at the school, they will actually return to their high school at the end of the day. They will arrive after dismissal, so they will arrive later, and then they will get to the school, and then they will go and participate in extracurriculars at that time. But we want to be transparent that that's later than what happens with dismissal times.
Just for Western for Tara and Monticello for early college, but all the other ones doesn't
You
matter.
should return to your school before those activities start. Yes.
Okay.
We do allow students to apply to transfer to be a full-time student at a location. So if you have a student that is interested in taking early college scholars at Monticello High School or Terra Studio, they can apply to go to those schools full-time. And then their days will start and end at those particular schools, and they'll be there for the extracurriculars that they participate in. If that's something that you're interested in, we will be sharing out these transfer request forms with families so that you're able to complete that a little bit earlier than our normal transfer process and be able to hear about that information to make decisions in the spring. We do also offer access to all students, students with disabilities, and our English learners. If you have any specific questions regarding your student schedule or the accommodations that they need, we encourage you to reach out to the school counselor or your student's case manager at their schools, and they will be able to provide you with specific information on how a student's needs will be met through the programming. Megan, I think you're taking over from here. Is that right?
Great. Thanks, Katina. So we know that our students are still thinking about what they want to do in high school and thinking about their next steps and kind of exploring and discovering both what they want to do for electives and what they want to do after high school. And so students do change their minds. And so we have a few on-ramps and off-ramps. So if a student, first off, course registration opens up December 1st in a couple weeks, and students and families will kind of start registering for courses. They have until the end of March to finalize their course requests for next year. But then once they come back in August, if a student changes their mind, they can switch their courses before the 10th day of class, which is usually the first 2 weeks of school. And they do that by connecting with their school counselor. After the 10th day of class, they do need to finish out the year for that year, but if they would like to change studios or if they want to just return to a traditional base school plan for both A days and B days, they can do that after the first year as well.
Megan, I'm sorry about that. My screen was messing up. Sorry.
That's okay. So as I mentioned, students can sign up for studios just like they sign up for other courses. They'll select their studio when they're doing course registration, which starts the first week of December. This year, they'll be doing course registration in SchoolLink's course planner, and those course requests are due by January 6th. After that, the course requests are closed for student edits, but students can make changes to their plan with their school counselor until the end of March. This kind of shows you what the SchoolLinks program looks like and where students will have the opportunity to select a Scholar Studio. As part of selecting their Scholar Studio, they will pick their pathway and they'll pick all of the rest of their courses as well. And those courses will be added to a 4 or 5 year course plan for the students that students will be able to talk through with their families and their school counselors. To learn more about the courses in each pathway, I mentioned our Scholar Studio website. We can add that to the chat. And if you go to k12albemarle.org/studios or /all-studios, both of those will take you there. Once you get to the website, you'll want to choose a studio and click on View Pathway Flyer. And from View Pathway Flyer, you'll be able to see all the different courses specific to that studio. We also have lots of information sessions. So for high school students, so if your student is a current ninth grader. We attended information sessions to share with the ninth graders at Western, Albemarle, and Monticello at the end of October. For our eighth grade students, we met mostly last week or 2 weeks ago, I guess, at Burley, Walton, Lakeside, and Henley, and we will be visiting Journey right when we get back from the Thanksgiving break. Additionally, we had this info session today on Zoom and one earlier in the month, and there's a great opportunity coming up at our high school curriculum fairs. Our high school curriculum fairs are a time when you can hear from not just the opportunities in the Scholar Studios, but all the opportunities that are available in our high schools. So the Scholar Studios will be there in person. You'll be able to talk to teachers and students in the different Scholar Studios, as well as for our other electives. You can see Monticello High School will be on the 4th in the evening, Western Albemarle on the 9th, and Albemarle High School on the 11th. And I think this is just specific for high school and middle school. You can see kind of the specific dates for whichever grade your student is in. To learn more, you can check out the web page. Our students have really enjoyed using the Studio Match quiz, which is on our website. It's available in English and Spanish. And so it might be something that the students can take to it'll ask questions to your student and kind of help them think about their different interests and their different hobbies and their goals. And we'll share a few studios that match those if that's something that's helpful for your student as they're thinking about their next steps. We also have linked here our Fast Facts flyer, which really has a lot of the information that we've shared with you tonight in kind of a one-pager. For additional information, you can reach out to your school counselor or email the studio lead for the studio that you have questions about. We'll show you the names of those leads again in a second. And of course, you're always welcome to reach out to Katina and I for any Scholar Studios questions in general. Here you can see the different studios and the studio leads attached to each of those courses. So they would be great folks to reach out to with questions, and they will be here tonight to help answer questions in breakout rooms in a few minutes. So I think in our remaining time together, what we're going to do is we're going to open up a few breakout rooms. And those breakout rooms will be open for the remainder of our time together, which is until 7:30. We will have breakout rooms for each of the studios, and you are welcome to move around to multiple studios over that time. So there won't necessarily be a formal presentation in the studio, so don't feel like you have to just choose one. You can move around to the different studios and ask questions to the studio leads that are in each of the rooms. Also here in the main room, we will have Katie Cannell, who is our English language support staff for Scholar Studios, as well as Katina Dudley, who will be here in the main room to answer any general questions that families might have.
I'll also add that we have some students here tonight that will be in the breakout rooms with their studio leads. And so you may get to hear from some of our current students as well this evening. So Megan, go ahead and open the breakout rooms. Does that work? So you should be able to choose a room at the bottom of your screen. And if for some reason you're unable to choose a room, let us know and we will help you.
Megan, I'm going to go to Thrive. Is somebody going to venture?
I will. I think we have some students as well.
Ken, if you need help getting moved to a room, if you'll just unmute and we can actually move you.
So I have a quick question. So what is this studio program? Is it not a general regular college program or a high school program? Is it not a class? What kind of class is this? What is a studio?
It's a mix of classes. So as Megan explained, there's students would start with a gateway class, which is a class that students would need for graduation. Then they would take pathway sequences, and those are really different depending on which studio you choose. And those are really designed based on student interest as far as what the classes are within each pathway. If you were to if there's a studio that you think your child might be interested in, you could actually go to that studio room and they could pull up a progression of courses that the student would take in that particular pathway. But these are all designed to meet graduation requirements for high school and to prepare kids for college and careers.
Does that mean if my child is interested in science, she would go to the breakout like studios that is related to science, and they would help explore my child with the science curriculum based on hands-on training?
Yes, you could learn more about what those courses are. That is either the Solve Studio if they're interested in STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. There's also the Pulse Studio, which is more on the life sciences, and then Terra Studio, which is more designed around the environmental sciences.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Hello.
Hi.
If our students are in orchestra, is it still possible to participate in Scholar Studios, or is their time already spoken for with orchestra?
Dama, I think, is still in here, so I'll let her take that on. But the model that we showed with Avid or we do have a band model that we show a student could take all 4 years of band and participate in a studio as well. So it's designed so that students can still take other courses, but Dama knows more about when and where orchestra is offered, so she'd probably be better to speak to that question.
Okay.
Orchestra is offered at all 3 high schools, and there are ensembles available on both A Day and B Day at all 3 comprehensive high schools. There's a general orchestra class, which is a non-audition course, and then there's a string ensemble, which is an audition course, and so that would be sort of the tricky piece there, depending on which day the studio courses are scheduled.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes. So I think my child would probably, she's at Journey, she's going to go to Albemarle. She'll probably prioritize the orchestra piece. So sorry for my ignorance. They don't have to do Scholar Studios.
No, they do not.
It does sound wonderful. I wish I could do it.
Me too.
Yes. But so there's flexibility either way.
Yes.
In how they kind of have to.
There's always at least some option of both an instrumental course or any performance course and a visual arts available on both A days and B days.
Okay.
At each level.
Okay. Great.
It is
Thank
also
you.
possible that your student could join Encore, which is our performing arts studio, which is offered at Albemarle.
Okay. Great. Yeah, I'll look at the scheduling. Thank
Hi, this is Ann. Would you be able to move me into the cybersecurity room? I'm sorry, I'm on my phone. I can't seem to access a different room.
No problem. One moment.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. I got her, Dama.
Oh, thanks.
Yep. Does anybody else need help getting to a breakout room? We're happy to help you.
Yes. Could you move me to the Terra?
Yes.
Thanks.
Hi, I just need some help getting to the venture studio.
Okay, I will send you there right now.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Was that Laura?
Yes, that's right. Mm-hmm.
I might have sent the wrong thing.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Does anybody in this room have any questions for us?
Is that possible you move to me the RT under like the group?
Which group?
Uh, do you what's the one for the science or engineer
The
program?
solve? Okay,
Yeah.
We'll be there
Yeah.
right now. Yes.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I'm going to check in with Encore.
Sounds good. Thanks, Dama.
Hi, I'm seeing, is this Earl and Nancy Burton? Are you trying to communicate with us? I'm seeing your lips moving, but we're not hearing any audio. So, did you have a question for us, or did you want to be moved to a breakout room? If your audio is not working, so maybe you could type something in the chat for us.
Or they could type it in the Q&A and we'll be able to see it.
Oh yeah, or the Q&A.
That's fine. No, thank you, Katie, for seeing that. Appreciate that.
I tried to go to the science or the engineer program. I don't know. Are they already ending the conversation or they still talking about it?
Katina, you're muted.
It's saying that they're in solve but haven't joined yet. Does she have to push a button to join after I move them?
I think if you try to resend her, it should, Miss Lee, it should give you a little pop-up that'll say like join now.
All right, I'm gonna bring you. I was gonna see if I could take you out, but I can't.
You could add them to one of the other rooms or move them to another room and move them back.
Okay, Miss Lee, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna move you to a room and then I'll move you again to solve and see if that works.
Okay, Thank you so much. Thank
You're
you.
welcome. Did Miss Lee move up? No. Did you see an accept button, Miss Lee?
No, I did early. It said, bring me to the break room. But right now, I just say language interpreters. Yeah, available. Click here. I don't need that. Perfect. Didn't see go to another program.
Yeah, if it moves you to another room, go ahead and accept it. And then I'll move you back to solve and accept that one again.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, can you hear me now? Yes, you can hear me? Okay. Is there a room that has, or a studio that has some kind of hands-on activity like carpentry or auto or cosmetology or anything like that? Or do you have to go to K-Tech for things like that?
Those programs are offered at K-Tech. We do have some courses at our high schools, and that are kind of like the shop class that you're referring to. But if you wanted to do like those type courses that you're mentioning or programs that you've mentioned, you would want to look at the program offerings at K-Tech. If Megan Maynard were in the room, she would be able to speak specifically to what's offered there. And I don't know the list off of my head like currently, but we do have lots of programming that our students are able to apply for the K-Tech. And then there are some courses at the schools that may meet your needs. I'm just not
Yeah.
sure. We
Ms.
don't have
Burton-
anything
Ms.
in
Ms. Burton,
cosmetology.
Katina, I can answer some of those questions. So K-Tech does offer all of our trades programs that you're speaking about, like auto mechanic, electrical, carpentry. If your student is really interested in like construction and things like that, they may want to look into the Blueprint Studio, because that will get them started on some of those early courses in that area.
Blueprint, okay.
Blueprint, like architecture and design elements. And then within that, they can still go to K-Tech once they get through there if they really want to go into the trades. But Blueprint would be the place that I would look if they really like the idea of building and maintaining building structures.
Yeah, I think my student is more interested in a trade,
Yeah.
you know. So, but they could still do a studio,
They
you
could
think?
still start with the studio and then and at least start with some of those early courses to see if that's something that they're interested in. But yeah, K-Tech and K-Tech's carpentry programs and things like that start in mostly the junior year is when students will enroll in that area.
In the junior year, okay. My student is a freshman this year.
Cool. I would recommend K-Tech is going to have an open house for high school students on December 9th in the evening. I think it starts at 5:30.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate that. Can you put me into that group?
Blueprint?
Yes.
Yeah.
You have that, Amber, or do you need help? Is that working for you?
I'm not a co-host, so I can't move people.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were. I'm glad I asked.
It's fine.
I was just sitting here thinking you were doing it. Okay.
I don't see those options on the bottom of my screen, so.
Okay. I will once I move you there, you should get something that says move to the room and you can just accept that. So you're going to Blueprint. It should give you something now.
Thank you.
Yep.
I had Ashni go ahead and log off. We waited 15 minutes for anyone to pop in, and we didn't get anyone, so I had her go ahead and log off.
Thanks, Brooke. I'll go ahead and let me see if I can. The only thing that I'm wondering about is last week we had some people jump into some other rooms right at the very end. So I don't know if you'll want to wait there in case somebody joins you there. I'm not sure, but I know some people jumped
I was
around.
looking at the numbers of breakout rooms. It looks like a lot of people jumped into like solve or link. Like it looks like they knew what they wanted and jumped in to that one.
Sure. Mhm.
So I'm gonna give it a little bit longer and because I think everybody that popped into mine sort of in a round last week did it within that first like 20 minutes.
Okay.
So I'm gonna pop back over and give it a minute and just see.
Okay. Thanks, Brooke.
Mhm.
Hey, have a good night and happy Thanksgiving if I don't see you.
Thanks. Y'all are going to the game, right?
All of our family is. Steve and I are still deciding.
Well, go Who's regardless. I hope
That's
it was
right.
a
We're
Thanksgiving.
excited. I will tell you that. We're very excited. So we'll see.
All right. Have a good Thanksgiving.
Thanks, Brooke. You too.
You're muted, Katina.
I know. I'm now telling my husband a funny story today. A teacher in the division just realized we were married today, and I was telling him who it was. He was like, "I just realized y'all were married today." It's like, sorry, Jay.
Every I'm sure you get that all the time.
We do. Yeah. I thought Jay knew this. That was kind of interesting. Not Jay Thomas, a different Jay. If you've visited your breakout rooms and you don't have any more questions, you're welcome to sign off. We are not doing any additional communications this evening. Ms. King, if you are finished, if you don't have any more questions, feel free to sign off. We're not closing or anything tonight after everybody goes to their breakout rooms, but we're happy to answer any questions if you have any more questions. You're muted, sorry.
There we go. Okay, well, this is all very exciting. And so the website is a good resource for looking at sample schedules and those kinds of things. Sounds
Yeah, it
like.
gives you one in all the pathways. And so it's a pretty helpful location. You should be getting a brochure in the mail pretty soon too. That's more of like an overview of the whole program. But if you want something more specific to each studio, the website's the best place to go for that.
Okay.
And we'll be at the curriculum fairs too with some specific
Yes, we'll be
information.
there.
So hopefully we'll see you there.
I noticed in a lot of the studios that if they're doing the studio, they end up taking physics in ninth grade, which is not, the usual path seems to be biology ninth grade. Does
That's
that?
right. We do have some students this year that took physics and biology in ninth grade.
Oh,
I know.
that's exciting.
Yes. So, but yes, we were really trying to think about a physics that would support all of a science course that would support all of the studios and kind of provide a foundation. And this physics class in ninth grade is designed to teach more around how things work so that it can be applicable in what's happening in our studios.
Okay. That makes sense. And then as far as asking the school counselor for advice or information, do we use our 8th grade middle school counselor, or do we wait until our child is assigned someone at the high school counselor?